Good afternoon, Giants fans. How are we doing? Welcome to your pre-game show coming up against the Worcester Wolves on Wednesday. It's the trophy knockout round, and we've got a special guest with us. Over on the other side of me is Jordan Frost, my usual right-hand man. How are we doing, mate?
Yeah, good, mate. How are you?
I'm very well, mate. Very well. Just, pushing past the weekend, getting ready for this big game. And we've got a little guest to talk about it. He is the MC for Worcester Wolves. You know him as Ginge down there. How are you doing, pal? Introduce yourself.
Yeah, not too bad, mate. Cheers for having me on, guys. Really appreciate it. Just thought I'd come in and give a bit of the Worcester insight to this game before we get into it.
Yeah, I love that. We're so open to that. We're constantly saying about the fans. Even if you just want to talk about what's your best pizza or whatever, we just want people to come on and chat. And when Jake said he was coming on, mate, I just said this is going to be great. There's no bad blood at all between the clubs, and it's brilliant. So yeah, it's fantastic to have you on, mate. It really is.
Yeah, it should be a good one. Let's see what questions you've got for me and what answers I can throw up for you.
Yeah, man, definitely.
I'm just wondering, have you got any questions for us? Do we need to prepare? Are you going to catch us off guard here, mate?
Or, that'd be letting you into the little secrets, wouldn't it?
Oh, we love our trade secrets.
So, as we mentioned, we're going against Worcester Wolves in the trophy. Let's have a quick little look at the history. So, past 3 games, we haven't beat you in the trophy. The last time we did beat you was in a double overtime, I believe, when you came up to Manchester. And it was a bit of a wild game. So first off, what is your affinity to the club, and how long have you been involved for the viewers and listeners out there, mate?
So for me, I've been a fan for about 10 years. Came to university in Worcester, and got involved with just being in the crowd, one of the fans. And then about 3 seasons ago, jumped on and helped out a mate of mine that was doing the commentary at the time to DJ, play all the sound effects and entertain the crowd in the gaps and support with the Worcester Wolverines. And then a couple of seasons ago, he decided to take a step back. So the club asked me to get involved and take on the commentary in the arena, which was not a decision I took lightly. I explained to you boys, but just before we came on, that it was a bit of a shock, and it was it's been a great experience, and it's led to some cool other stuff that I've been doing. So yeah, it's just a shame this year, obviously without the fans, but hey, COVID has hit us all hard. So.
Yeah, I think the best thing for you as well is you've got no fans to listen. If you do mess up on a little skit or put like a little cash register noise, if we make a free throw, like, oh shit, wrong one, hang on.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember I think it was the first or second game I did when I first started, and I referred to the Bristol Flyers as the Bristol Friars. And wild on the Worcester Wolves supporters page before I'd even had chance to settle down after the game and calm myself back down, and it just went wild. I thought I got away with that one, but clearly not.
I love that. I'm definitely saying that forever, mate.
Yeah, Bristol Friars.
Yeah, it was. I don't know whether there is a chip shop down there with that, but they got some free publicity that night.
Oh, there's got to be now, hasn't there? And if there isn't, get on it.
Oh man! So you say you've been doing that. You say you were a fan before that. Let's talk to you as a fan then. What are your thoughts about, first of all, the recruitment from the Worcester side of it? We've explained that even during the season from your side. You've built it more and more, obviously without the departure of NBA, but you've managed to strengthen other parts of your game. What are your thoughts on your team and how well the recruitment's been this year, mate?
Yeah, recruitment's gone really well. I mean, obviously there was the delay in getting the American guys over due to waiting for funding and bits and bobs and probably a load of red tape that none of us are aware of from the club's perspective. But I mean, for me, the guys like Brandon Anderson, Lamar, KJ, and Mike coming in has really strengthened and given us some real depth in terms of coming off the bench. I mean, the British guys that we've got in, Mika Elan and Josh McSwiggan, alongside obviously Martin Boutnet, have been absolutely fantastic for us this season. And it's nice to see as well the young guys that are the sort of university products, Tola Akiki, Matt Williamson, Lucas McGregor, those kind of guys. Dan Johnson-Thompson are obviously the kind of program that the university's created for, and the pathway that leads into the BBL is absolutely brilliant. And it gives the younger guys that might not necessarily get that shot the opportunity to prove themselves. And I think particularly Dan Johnson-Thompson over the last 2 or 3 seasons has really stepped into sort of a sixth-man role from a British sort of university player perspective. It's a shame, obviously, the injury that he got at Surrey this season, but he's really stepped his game up. And the younger guys coming through, obviously this season, Tola Akiki stepping in, and I think he is what I would describe as a point guard's absolute nightmare on defense, because he is so quick, and his ability to shut stuff down is just unbelievable. And I think if he can get going on the offensive end as well, that just gives us another option as a guard. And I think we're blessed in that position with like I say, the likes of KJ. You got Josh McSwiggan, who can shoot the lights out when he's given the space. Mika, great ball handler, can direct the play really well when Martin needs a break. Martin Boutnet, for me, is probably one of the most underrated point guards in the league.
He has.
I noticed
incredible.
I mean, in the game, if I remember rightly, the game against us, it was something I just noticed, and I mentioned it to Jake before, about not only how fast your team is, because I think that's one thing we're so susceptible to Giants, is that fast break. We're so susceptible to it. And we've got good guards and good players, just not absolutely rapid. Do you know what I mean? But there's that, but you're so physical. Like, really, really, I noticed, like, the rebounds aren't just getting caught, they're getting dragged down, and I think, we knew from the start against you we were in a real battle, a real battle.
And I mean, I think for me, the recruitment side of it from Matt Newby's been fantastic over the past 2 seasons, but particularly this year, to hold on to Martin Boutnet and Jordan Williams is the backbone of our team. Jordan's been absolutely phenomenal for us for 2 seasons, and I can't remember really one sort of game where he's gone missing. He's always been present. And then for Mike Parks to come in, the size that he is, I don't know if you guys have seen his Instagram, but before he came over, he actually smashed it, went up for a dunk.
I do recall seeing
the glass on the backboard, and I was just like, okay, well, this guy's going to make some moves in our team. And I think he just kind of needs to settle a little bit more and get into the rhythm of things. I think he's one of those that as soon as he starts to really find his feet, he's going to be unstoppable. And I'm really excited for the match with him and Breon on Wednesday night.
Yeah, I mean,
they're both big, strong, athletic guys as well.
Yeah. I mean, I think in the last game, obviously, you've had NBA playing for you, who's an absolute handful himself. Tons of experience. Obviously he's gone to Chester now, and I think that gave you another dimension in that game. Because you could rely on that. And Brady and Hexham at the time, knew he was in for a real game. And that Brady, I mean, we've said it before constantly, we need to get him, from a Giants perspective, into the half without being in foul trouble. Because for a fact, again, they'll go, Worcester, rightfully so, like every team, are looking at Brady as a potential. Because he can be a mismatch to anyone in the league. He doesn't matter who it is. When he gets the bit between his teeth, he'll go. And again, it's massively vital to get him into the half on probably 2 fouls or less, I'd say. Definitely. Because as we've seen in the last few games, he's been a different player when he's in foul trouble. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I think from an American perspective, I mean, the refereeing over here is so different. And he's been here from the start of the season. So realistically, by now, you would have expected him to kind of understand the way that the refs are going to call things and stuff like that. But it's like some of the calls that I watched the Giants game against Sheffield at the weekend. And some of the calls, I was just like, I just don't know what you're seeing.
Yeah. And we have it. And I said to Jake the other week, I mean, I like ref bashing when I'm playing, but I don't like ref bashing when we're on air. I think it's a thankless job, but we constantly get. It's the woman ref, and there's another one, I forgot what it's called now, but it's just constant, like a week. It's like you said, there's so many things where you're like, what have you called there? The game down at where was it, Surrey, when Jack got like massively smashed, and the ref said to Wolf, he went, yeah, it's basketball, and Wolf was like, yeah, so he's
been clattered.
What's your point? Yeah, what's your point? Do you know what I mean? And I just think, we're constantly getting, not just us, because I see it in so many games. Like the standard of refereeing over here, it's not even close to what it should be, if you ask me. And these Americans are having, because bear in mind, America's the founding country of the sport. It's not like, like football, certain, the way England play, could be a bit more harsher than the way Spain play. This is a unanimous sport with unanimous rules, and a foul's a foul. Different, parts of football are different, but in basketball, it's unanimous sport, and I think it should reflect the whole way. And we had it with Willie Clayton coming over, by far probably one of the best rebounders we've ever seen in the BBL. In my eyes, if he'd have played a full career there, definitely, he smashed all our records to pieces, and he constantly got done for refs. Realistic, minimal contact. Yeah. But this is where I see. I mean, I saw a lot of pictures put on today by Harry, our club photographer, and I'm scrolling through it, and I'm just like, foul. And I can remember. There's one, and I remember exactly what happened. Breon was backing down on Mike Tuck and Cock, whatever he's called, for Sheffield. He's backing down, and he goes up, and I literally, it was one of them where you just kind of look away because you think it's a foul, and he didn't give it. And I saw the picture, and they're both arms over like that, straight over, and I'm just thinking, what's going on? And I'm just like, I think it's the consistency that kills me. It really is. It's the consistency that kills me. And I think,
I can agree with you more, mate. It's a struggle.
Yeah, and it's not just on us. It's every team. I see it. Every single team. I see it.
And do you know what? If they were consistently bad for both sides, you could kind of understand it,
exactly.
And it wouldn't be that much of an issue. But I think I know. Like we're slamming the refs a little bit here, but for me, it is about that consistency, and it's about having that level of professionalism to an extent, where everything is called the same way. Everybody understands what they're going to call and why they're going to call it. Like, I don't know if it was in the Giants game, but there was an unsportsmanlike foul given.
That was bollocks. Yeah,
I was literally like, what have you seen? How have you given that? Was it DJ?
No, it was on Hudson. Hudson was tracking him back on a fast break, and I think he's tried to reach around for a steal, and they've called it unsportsmanlike.
Yeah, and I don't get that.
It was like, I get it if it's a full intentional grab where he's got he did have a clear lane to the basket, but there was no malice there. There was no professionalism, as in, I'm going to foul him to stop him doing this. It was a literal reaching in. It should have been called a reaching in foul. It should never have been.
Yeah, because he went for the ball.
Yeah.
But then for me, I see stuff like that, and then I'm like, okay, well, at the end of the game, when people are putting people to the free throw line to try and save time, surely that's all unsportsmanlike then, because not a lot of them go for the ball.
Please, thank God you just said that. I say that all the time. Honestly, I think like the ball goes in and you're intentional fouling. So what's the difference? I mean, if there is a difference in the rules, then someone show it me, and then that's absolutely fine. But
it's just accepted, isn't it?
Yeah. But as far as I'm concerned, if it's an intentional foul, it's an intentional foul.
Yeah,
it should be a shot in possession. Straight up.
Yeah. And the one thing I'm noticing, because I've said it before, like me and Jake, if you look at our voice notes through the game, we send the voice notes, so we've got stuff to record for the interviews and stuff. And I guarantee 3 or 4 of them
makeup calls.
We go makeup call. That's a makeup call. And there was the one where Jack Hudson got knocked out by someone about 3.5 foot taller than him, that Richards, sorry, right? He got knocked out. And then the ref made the biggest bullshit call I've ever seen in basketball. It was like, I actually think it was like the guy stepped out, but he called a foul. And I'm just like, well, what's he done? Has he stepped out or has he given a foul? You know, it's just like, what is that? And I've literally just gone, what's that voice note? Makeup call, boom, you know, just like... But yeah, I mean, it does sound like we're ref bashing, but it's definitely something, you know, that's happening. It's happening everywhere, absolutely everywhere.
And I was talking to a couple of the refs at one of the Worcester games, and to be fair, like the way that they've segregated the refs because of COVID and stuff like that, I do understand it, but and they are under a lot of stress, just like the players are. Like,
absolutely,
there's so many games in such a short period of time, so you can understand that they're tired. They've obviously got other stuff going on with family and whatever else, but it's just that consistency, like we're saying, like the consistency of what's happening through the league. It needs to be on a level playing field, so everybody knows what's going to get called and when. You shouldn't be going to one team and thinking, well, if I can get away with this ref, and then I can go here but I won't get away with it there. And I think that's the only issue that really needs to be ironed out with refereeing. But do you know what? As much as we've ref bashed and we've said that things are a problem, I won't want to do that job.
Yeah, I mean, the way I see it, and I've said this actually on another podcast before, and I think it's quite poignant point is they are professionals at that, and I don't expect them to get everything right. I understand that because but the other thing you got to think of, there's three of them. You know, there's three of them. You know, I don't go into work and there's three of me there doing it. You know,
that'd be fucking hell anyway.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Though there's three of them. I just don't see how they can get. Especially, I mean, again, our losses recently are nothing to do with the refs. It's to do with us. But while we're on the point, it's definitely something that needs doing because there's just no consistency.
Do you know what? I tried to save them there by saying we weren't ref bashing and that it's a tough job, and you've just gone back in on it. I'm just going to leave that one there.
I'm done.
Moving swiftly on. We'll adjudicate the refereeing whilst the game's on Wednesday, and I'm sure that Ginge and ourselves will have different matters depending on the call.
Yeah,
going.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We'll just be texting each other like, not a chance. You'd be like, he's full contact, mate. He's joking. No.
Yeah. Bearing in mind, I'm courtside Wednesday, so I'll be able to see a clearer view. So what I says is right. So.
Just
especially if it's in favour of us.
One thing I don't want to hear is like when the ref makes a horrendous call against Giants, because we know what's going to happen, right? The ref makes a horrendous call. I don't want to hear on the microphone. Yeah, take that, Jordan. Oh, what? I will cancel my BBL subscription. Giants and the BBL can swivel for my money.
Oh God, but that's a perfect opportunity for me to put a nice little split in that video there. So cheers for that. Moving on to matchups. Now, obviously, you've spoke about the recruitment and how well you guys have done this season. Starting five for you. If you're the coach, who's your starting five, Ginge?
Ooh, big question. So for me, Martin Backnet every time at point.
Yeah.
He's just something else. Shooting guard, Brandon Anderson.
Mm-hmm.
Because you've got that rotation with him and Martin to be able to run the 1 and 2 spot. Because when Martin's on fire, he can shoot the lights out. He went to Bristol and hit 30, so he can shoot the lights out as well. Yeah. So he gives you that offering. 3 for me is KJ Lawson at the moment. Okay. Josh McSwiggan is absolutely fantastic, but we haven't seen him really put up many numbers. I know he's just recently coming back from an injury, so that may be part of it. But KJ Lawson at the moment, his vision and his ability to move the ball at speed is great, and on the defense. And the same for Martin. Martin's defense is unbelievable. 4 Jordan Williams every single time. I think he would be, if you had him at any club at the moment, I think he'd be difficult not to start.
Yeah.
And then Mike Parks.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah, I like that. There's some good matchups there.
I've got to say, because looking at the matchups of, at the moment, I don't know about you, Jordan, but mine would be Brady, Whelan, Cassell, Playing you guys at Worcester, I'd probably start Ulf and Brady just to get a bit of intensity at the start of the game, a bit of powerhousing out there, because we know that obviously Worcester love to play a nice little zone defense to stop a low post game, and I think having Brady and Ulf on at the same time would be a nice little bit of bully ball for the first 5 minutes, especially going against Parks and Williams. They're two big dudes. Which obviously also reminds me, every time I've watched them on telly, it seems like so long ago that I was at a match, and when Worcester came up to Manchester, Williams was taking a sideline ball in where I was sat, and you always forget how genuinely big they are. And you think, oh yeah, I mean, like me and Jordan are 6'4", but like I'm walking past, like looking up, and then just seeing how broad, like. Especially, I don't even want to meet Michael Parks Jr. He looks like an absolute animal.
He's definitely not a junior, is he?
Well, I'm 6'5", and he absolutely towers over me, and he's huge. He's what, 6'10"?
Fuck, what, wide or tall?
Both, I think. He's about 6'10" and about 610 kilos by the size of him.
It's like posting up against a fridge. You can't move him, can you?
Mate, honestly, his strength is second to none. Like, he's a big dude. Yeah. And do you know the scary thing for me? Like, this is a really strange thing to say, but because of the way I sit and the level that I sit at, his shoe size is unreal.
I thought you were going to say something else then. It's a PG.
Well, hey, I saw your face switch. Yeah, I saw your face switch then. I was like, I know where he's thinking I'm going with it.
Back to ref bashing. Back to ref bashing. No. You know what?
Yeah, I think he's got like size 18s.
Oh, when you said that old school video of Shaq with the phone inside the shoe came in the head, like the size 22 shoe, and that just instantly popped in my head there when you said that.
Yeah, mate.
Stop giving him social media ideas.
He's just a scary dude, man. But the crazy thing is, like, I've spoken to him as much as we can, sort of off the court, from a very, very much a social distance with masks and all that kind of jazz going on. But he's such a nice guy. Like, and I think that tends to be the way. Like, the big dudes are just so nice.
I think
he's
that's
a little bit.
Sorry, wait.
Bob.
I would just say I think that's the thing that is killing the fans across the entire league. Just, at the end of the game, and being able to, like, from kids all the way up to guys like our age that watch it religiously, seeing those guys out there play a game that you fully are passionate about and, will get behind every single game, it's hard to not think, oh, at the end of the game, I can't go and say hello, or, well, my nephew or my kid can't go over and get a picture with his favourite player, kind of thing.
For sure, mate.
It's tough from that aspect, I think, from the fans' point of view. But, like, because exactly like you just said there about Parks, they're more than welcoming just to come over and have a chat with you. And end of the day, they are there to do a job and they are professional players, but they're still people. Do you know what I mean? So it's really nice to hear that you're getting to talk to them, and having a chat and just making sure they're all right more than anything. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. And do you know what? Like, the crazy thing is, we did some stat analysis on crowds last season, because we were looking at what was working, what wasn't working, how we could change things up, how we could engage more people. And I think something like 22%, something around that number, don't quote me on exact figures, but about 22% of our fans are 60 plus.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah, which is crazy.
Wow. That is mad.
And they've been there since, like, there's people that have got season tickets that have had season tickets since the club joined the BBL in like 2001.
Wow.
And they've been season tickets all the way through, back to the old St John's Sports Centre days, all the way through to obviously the arena. Yeah. And it's crazy. Like, there's loyal fans that have been there for years and years and years that are actually like 60 plus, and they're the loudest.
Yeah, they're the ones that are.
And sometimes you hear that. Yeah, mate. Literally what I was just about to say, and you hear it. Like where I sit is like right in front of Block A, and you hear some of the stuff that comes out of these like older generations mouths, and you're like, "Boy, is this
like, go outside and take a time out, you."
Yeah,
sit on the naughty step.
Literally. Yeah, but then you get the little kids as well. Like we've got a little lad, and I'll always shout him out on whatever I'm doing. I think he's like 4 or 5 years old, and he comes to every single game dressed as Wolfie. Like we call him Baby Wolfie, and he's got like a proper like little wolf like onesie that he comes in with his shirt over the top, and he loves it. And I think that's the biggest thing that I miss is the fan interaction, like having that energy and that like that close game. And I was saying to a couple of people the other day when I was talking to the guy that does the DJing for us now, Gary, and I said that for us, it's 1,500 people, 1,000 to 1,500 people in an arena that's not actually that big. I don't know if you boys have been down. You have to come down when we can have fans in. And it is unreal. Like the sound, the noise, and like people taking free throws. I was going to mention this earlier when you brought up the old man of the league, veteran of the league, should I say, Mike Tuck. He is the most hated player in Worcester.
Really?
Yeah. He's such a nice guy, and everybody knows
he's lovely.
Hey, honestly, he's like the pantomime villain. They absolutely hate him. Even when I announce his name, and I'm like, "Oh yeah," and from the Sheffield Sharks, number 15, Mike Tuck, and the whole crowd's like, "Boo!"
Wow.
And he plays up to it. Honestly, if you message him and speak to him about it, but he loves coming to Worcester because it's such that environment. And he honestly, people have photos with him, and everybody like has known him for years through the league. Yeah. But when he's on court, he's the most hated man in Worcester. I've never seen a reaction like it. I did it. I shouted it out on the first time I did it, and I was like, "What has this guy done? Like,
or what have you done? Or what have you done?
Or what have I done?" And I was like, "Uh-oh."
I bet everyone thought you said Mike Fuck or something like that.
Mate,
and now for the Bristol Flyers.
No, the worst one I've done, Sheffield again. I thought Cook's name was pronounced the way it's spelt. So for the whole game, I was like, Cox moved inside with the ball, and I was just like, and then I heard it afterwards, and I was like, oh, it's Cook.
I swear, I thought it was Cock, me. I said Cock before, didn't I?
Yeah, it's Cook.
It's Cook. But he'll have had that his whole life, won't he? He'll have had that his whole life.
It's an unfortunate name, isn't it? Let's be honest. But yeah, I think going back to what you were saying, like the lack of fans in this season it's been horrible. And I know for you guys as fans, and also for me as a fan before I got involved with the club, and just not seeing everyone, like it's literally like a family at Worcester, and I'm assuming it's the same at Giants and all over the league. That those regulars that come every week, they pay their money. Like I was surprised. Obviously, not last season, but the season before, we had a pretty awful season. Let's be honest. There was some challenges that came through, some players that weren't really performing to the standard that we expected them to. We went through 2 coaches in a season. It was and that was my first year commentating, so that was fun. We beat Plymouth on the opening day of the season after PJ had moved down to Plymouth, and that was and everyone was like gunning for that game because of obviously PJ moving. They wanted to get the win over him. And then everyone was like, "Yeah, we're sweet. We're going to do really well." I think Rob Crawford went off for like 31 in the first game, and we were like, "Oh yeah,
this is great. Yeah,
this is brilliant. Yeah, this is absolutely brilliant." And then from that point forward, I think we won like 3 games after that. But we were still ramming it. We were still 1,500 people deep, even when we were losing every game. And for me, that just shows the loyalty of the club.
We know that feeling.
To be fair, I was just about to say I'm talking to 2 guys that.
That's the reason, literally the reason why we started this podcast. Because I don't know about what they're doing on the Worcester fan page. I'm assuming you're on it, but like the Giants one, all we get really is a little game thread where people just type, and I don't even look at it a lot of the time. Do you know what I mean? And we have, young Marcel who runs the Giants fan page, and he does like a little Instagram live after it. But there was nothing really. I know Marcel's doing his thing. His is a bit more sort of formal. There was nothing really where the fans could just have a chat. Like this chat here now is the kind of thing you'd have a chat in the bar before the game. it's that kind of thing, you know, and it's just for me, it would just give us that chance. I mean, we really envy the position you're in. We really do. You know, you're in it's exactly what we want to do at some point. You know what I mean? We really do. It's our aim. You know, you do your BBL player stuff. We want to do that. You know, you do your announcing, MCing. That's what we want to do. And it just kind of brings us, you know, to sort of why we started this, and it makes us realise it, and it really helps. I think it has helped a lot of fans. The feedback we've had is just fantastic, and you know, we say it to the players when we interview them and everything. We say, you know, we have messages constantly, just like, you know, do you know when we're back, it's going to be so good, and you know, everything like that. So yeah, you know, I mean, just to get into the games, I'd imagine is absolutely great still, you know. But you also see it from a fan's perspective, because you live on that energy from the fans. You know, you know, you live off that. You know, it's your job on game day, and it'd just be great. You know, hopefully we see this vaccine rolling out. Hopefully we can see it at some point this season. You know,
I hope so, mate, because it'd be a fantastic thing for. And I mean, I think for me, there's three reasons why I feel that it's so like paramount. Is one, it's the fans' experience, and like obviously what we've said about missing out on meeting the players and talking to them and getting to know them as people away from what's happening on court. I think it's also about that edge. Like people hate coming to Worcester. When it was at the George Carnell, take away the flooring and how cold it was. It was. I know that a lot of players thought it was like a cauldron, and that's what you want from your home court.
It was real intense. It was real intense. If it ever got to a close game, it was deafening. It was fantastic there.
Yeah. And that's the thing, isn't it? That's what these players are missing. And that was my third point about like the American guys that potentially might only stay for one season and move on to pastures new, or to go to Europe, or to go to another BBL side. Not shouting out Cortez Edwards for being a traitor too much. But yeah, absolutely. Every podcast, mate. Every time I talk about Worcester, I just get it in, because he's sold out and went to Newcastle. But no, fair play to him. He's
Mike McCall.
To be fair, that's even worse, isn't it? Because Cheshire's your local rivals.
Oh God. You know, little funny backstory about that, right? And I've said it on the podcast before. I don't know if you've heard it. So me and Jake, obviously, we saw it, right? We thought, you know what? Because he went over to, was it Latvia or Luxembourg? Sorry, he went.
Luxembourg.
Yeah. And the league just got canned. You know, he got canned. He's played for a bit in the league. I follow him on Instagram. He's a really good guy. The league got canned. And then I thought, you know, what's going on? And Cheshire did the thing that all the BBL clubs, it's like, signing are being announced at, say, 5 o'clock or whatever it was. We thought, oh, who's this? And I was like, no idea. Like, because we knew it was going to be NBA the other day. We knew it. We 100% knew it. He just followed him on Instagram. It was all the signs were leading to that. But we had no idea. And it was like Mike McCall Jr. I was thinking, straight away, phone going off, Jake Nichols. I'm like, right, here we go. Hello? And then literally from there, we was talking. We was like, I can't believe he's done it. And you know what? He's got to feed his family. You know, he's got to feed his family. He's got a young family.
100%.
But it was just the fact he's gone to Cheshire. There's
anyone
so many
else
clubs looking for
anyone
good
else
Americans, you know. And like I was thinking, you know, Danny Byrne I'd have him back in a heartbeat still, because he was such a good player for us. And it literally, me and Jake, before it, because Cheshire did a really good job on it on Facebook of like saying like Mike McCall's in the building. We're like, oh, so he's playing, is he? Right, okay. We thought, because it took us about 17 years to get our Americans signed up to play this season, like, you know, and then see Mike McCall signed up and ready to play, fit as a fiddle after like 3 games. And literally, we absolutely smashed him on the game. And me and Jake straight away was like, anyone know a direct route back to Chicago for Mike McCall? And absolutely smashed him. And every single game since then, I woke up in the morning, I was just like, oh, what have I done here? Like, you know? And then like I wasn't even drunk or nothing. It was just like, I just thought, we'll smash him. Like, and it was like Mike McCall's in the building, and he was just like, and now he's walking out, and we didn't even give him a shower and stuff like that. you know, it was just all sorts. And every game we've played against them since then, I was just like, please win. And like, obviously we won the 2 games after, and they won the other day, and I thought, My phone's going to go off at any minute now. Like Cheshire
just the marketing manager from Cheshire, like, right, you two.
Right, here we go. No, it's so funny.
Yeah, it's all love in this game.
Oh,
isn't
it is.
It's
Yeah.
just it's about having, and those local derbies like are what makes the league. Like you guys with Cheshire, us with Bristol. Like I know I've spoken to Martin Boutnet on a number of occasions, and he loves going to Bristol because it's such a local derby, and he always performs. And I think that, like we were talking about the fans, like when it is a local derby, that level goes up.
Yeah.
Like it goes up again.
Because,
Even from
because we're all animalistic. Like it's like the United City derby, City Liverpool, like Arsenal Chelsea. We're all like, oh, they're from the same area. Let's have them. Like,
mate, absolute revelation. I live in Cheshire.
No,
I live like 100 million miles closer to Manchester, but like I literally Bellevue is like 4 miles from my house, but I live in Cheshire. Work that one out, mate.
That makes no sense.
I know.
It means he thinks he's posh and he pays double the council tax than everyone else right on the street.
Literally, mate. Like I don't even know. Is Ellesmere Port is Cheshire, isn't it? Like where they play.
Yeah.
Like, but it's literally Ellesmere Port's like an hour and 10 minutes away, but it's in Cheshire. Bellevue is 4 miles away. Like centre of Manchester, it's mental. Like
you're one of them postcode snobs, aren't you?
Yeah.
Out on a night out. Where do you live? Oh, Cheshire.
Cheshire.
I get all the girls.
Oh man. So let's go on to my favourite part of the show. Score predictions, Ginge. Now, you might have seen Jordan come 1 point away a few weeks ago on one of our wins. So we started to carry on with this little section here. I'm assuming, now don't put words in my mouth, but I'm assuming you're going to go for a Worcester win here.
Yeah, obviously.
So whatever score you say, I'm just going to write it down and then go, okay, Worcester win, obviously.
Yeah.
So exact score predictions, please.
So for me, it's going to be 90 to Worcester.
Ooh.
86 Manchester.
Okay.
And I'm backing another couple of stats as well.
Okay. We like this.
Oh, okay.
We like this.
I'm backing Jordan Williams with a double-double.
Yeah.
And Breon Brady with a double-double.
Yeah.
And I think Martin Boutnet will get at least 10 points and at least 10 assists. So double-double, but with assists, not rebounds.
You didn't realise Jake isn't writing these down. He's on Bet365 now.
Accumulator, £2. Yeah.
We have the inside man here. We've got the inside man.
But it is, he's betting against Manchester.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, true. Yeah. Oh no.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's my shout.
Okay.
That's my shout.
That'll be going up on
And
Twitter.
I think it'll be a close game all the way through.
Yeah.
I really do.
To be honest, mate, I think you're pretty close with the score. I think it's going to be quite a high scoring, like close to that 100-mark game.
Yeah.
Jordan, what are you going for, pal?
I'm going Giants win because I can't not. I'm going to go Worcester 82, Giants 86.
Oh, it's going the other way. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. I think it's going to be like a really cagey first quarter, which will keep the scoring low, and then I think the third quarter will just go off for both teams. I really do.
Yeah.
I reckon the second quarter will open up a bit. We'll get to the sort of 40 mark, and then the third quarter is just going to go off, and then fourth quarter again will be cagey-ish.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to go Mr. Ulf.
Ulfie, baby.
Love Mr. Ulf.
Our man crush of the hour. Yeah.
I'm gonna go Ulf double.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Brady double.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go Mr. Williams double. But I think I think his is gonna be a high double though.
We're talking like 20 and 10 kind of vibe.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I've got a shout for Whelan minimum 20 points.
I was just thinking Whelan, I reckon he'll go off as well. I reckon like 20, 25 points. Yeah.
Depends what song I play for him when he warms up. So I might have another Michael Jackson vibe for him.
Yeah. Do Michael Jackson, and if he goes off and you win, I want you back for good.
Mate, honestly, that game where he came out, because it was the first time I'd seen him since obviously all this COVID stuff happened. And I remembered the photo, and I sent it to him on the way down, and he was like, "Nah, you can't be gassing me like this already. Like, I haven't got into Worcester yet." Yeah. And as soon as he came out, I turned around to Gary, the DJ, and I was like, "Drop it now, just drop it." And he hadn't got his headphones in, and he literally just turned around, looked at me, and was like, "Why
you gotta do me like that?"
Yeah, fact. But do you know what? He took it in good spirits, as he always does, but I'm just hoping we'll find something. We'll find something to play with his mind against, keep him on a low scoring game, because we can't have him hitting that 29-point job that he did against Leicester.
Yeah. Well, I was just thinking, what's your scoreboard? Because I know at ours we can have like pictures on there as well on our scoreboard. I was thinking just like when he's taking free throws, if the scoreboard's behind the rim, just poof, that there. And that's me going against him. You know?
Yeah.
I think he'll literally die on the spot if that happens. Like.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, we don't have the capacity to do that. But trust me, he'll be getting enough stick. Because every time, so normally Worcester attack the area that we are, Worcester attack the hoop that we're sat nearest in the first half and in the second half. And every time he scores, he gives me a glance or a little like at this, and I'm just like, I just smile, and I'm just like, all right, mate. All right.
Yeah.
And the last time he did it, I just looked up and I just pointed at the scoreboard, because I think we were like 15 ahead, and he just sort of like trundled back and just like put his head down, and I was like, yeah, that's
I'm not playing anymore. I'm not playing.
I'm taking my ball home.
Yeah, I'm going home.
But yeah, it just depends on what mood he's in as well, because sometimes I can really get into him. It's quite funny.
Well, do me one favour. Try not to, mate. It's all in good spirit.
No loyalty to Manchester. I said to I was messaging Alfie the other day actually, and I said to him, like, because of obviously the connection with Jordan, I've known him.
Yeah.
Like, I went and watched him play in London and stuff. Like, Manchester are what I would consider my second team in the league.
Oh, I love that, mate.
So like trying to keep an eye on what goes on, watch a few of the games and stuff when it doesn't clash with the Worcester games. But like this game for me, like, there is no like love lost. Like, I want us to absolutely smash Manchester out of the park. So.
You started that off so well.
Yeah, but we're playing against you.
I know. Like I was thinking, like, Jake can edit it with some really lovely ambient music in the background. Like, Manchester, my second team. I've got a lot of love for Manchester, but I hope we fucking smash it.
Yeah, do you know what you should do? You should have like some real nice ambient music and then Thug Life.
Yeah. AC/DC in the background. Just
You'd be amazed what I can do with editing, and I can turn that into I really hope that the Wolves get smashed by the Giants.
Mate, I'm going to be watching this all the way through straight away on the message. Like, boys, you've really done me here.
Just send you a timestamp of it. Just skip
Mate, don't. Honestly, like, I'll turn up on Wednesday night and I'll walk towards the arena, and I'll just get my P45 handed and just walk straight back the other way.
It's in the post. There you go, mate. See you later.
Yeah, absolutely. Go on then, Jake. What's your predictions where you go, mate?
I don't know, mate, because
Worcester are going to win. Yeah, I know.
I can edit that so it comes out of your mouth. That's good. I think genuinely we're both going to go below 80 points, and I've just got a weird feeling now. It's going to be one of them games that we said it's going to be hard. It's going to be really, really like tit for tat. There's going to be some hard defense being played. So I'm going to go Giants 76, Wolves 72.
You've literally just took 10 points off mine.
Have I? I have, mate, yeah. Well,
boys, you two are in far too much sync here.
It's weird. You know what? It's actually the way you said we do it all the time. And when Jake before just said, "I'm taking my ball," I was just about to say that as well. You know, that's so weird.
You two spend far too much time together.
I know.
To be fair, when we played in December, which I think was the last time we matched up when you guys came to us, it was an 84-76 in favour of us.
Yeah.
So I mean, we're all kind of around the sort of ballpark.
Yeah, it's a tough because it all depends the matchups because it's a very before the game on paper it's an even game.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
in my eyes, and it just depends who steps up on the match because that's all you're looking for. I always say you're just looking for one player to step up, but it could be absolutely anyone across the whole roster, and then they bring everyone with them usually. You know, so I think it's just waiting on that one player, and that's what will decide it which guy or guys go off. You know.
Yeah, and to be fair, both teams haven't had the greatest run of results in the last few games either.
That's it. Both hungry.
No one's really taken much momentum into the game or anything like that. But they, like you said, they're both hungry to get a win. I mean, looking at the obviously you guys played in that overtime game against Leicester on Friday night, and then you obviously went to was it Surrey away on Saturday? No, you had
Sheffield at home.
Yeah, Sheffield at home. Sheffield at home, and to be fair, like I was surprised with that Sheffield game, but obviously it's the fallout from the Friday night, and it was such a long game, and the recovery process and everything like that. But I was really surprised. Like I didn't expect Sheffield to take it by 14, and especially that first half. Like Jordan's girlfriend Holly rang me, and she was like, "What is going on?" And I was like, "I don't know, man," but it was tough. It's tough for you guys for sure. And I think, like you said at the start of the pod, like when you guys lose Brady into foul trouble, your whole game plan changes.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's quite difficult to adjust. I mean, like Donovan Johnson, like his defense is unbelievable, but he's not really firing as such on the offensive end. I know he wasn't bought in for that. Yeah. So too much. He was brought in for more of a defensive player. But now obviously Hexam's had to part ways and go home for like family reasons and whatever. It seems that he's going to have to step up and put a performance in.
Well, this is what I was saying to Jake before. It's interesting you mentioned that. I was saying to Jake before that this is why I feel DJ's been getting in foul trouble because he's stepping out of position. DJ is an out-and-out 3 for me. You know, he really is. He can play big, you know, it's like, but he's an out-and-out 3 for me. And he's stepping out of position, which I think is why he's getting mismatched, and this is why I think he's fouling. You know, and like in the Plymouth game, you know, they played tall ball. You know, as soon as Brady got into foul trouble, they played tall ball and they killed us with it.
Yeah, well, eBay's just ridiculous, isn't he?
He's huge.
Like his size is just
well, we was lucky before the game he didn't play against us eBay, and then I'd not actually seen him in the person. Like on the BBL player until yesterday when I watched the London game, and I thought, "Whoa, God, that game would have been a lot more if he were playing." Jesus Christ,
he's
massive.
He's an unbelievable specimen. Like I saw him, he played against us at home, and he turned up, and I was just like, "What the fuck?" Because he's not like he's not like no disrespect intended here, but he's not like your Ronald Dell from Glasgow. Who's like real tall but quite like lean. Yeah. Whereas he's like tall but he's fucking massive as well. And he's built. The only advantage and the only mismatch that I see for us really is Brandon Anderson. Like the speed that kid can handle the ball. So I think like Jack and Sam have got a struggle on there, especially if you've got him and Martin to contend with. The ball handling, the ability to move the ball with those two, and then you throw KJ in. I would love to see KJ versus DJ. That match for me would be unbelievable. But obviously, with DJ having to step in and play a bit more of the 4 role rather than the 3, I think I think that's a mismatch that we could win if DJ's having to step up against the if Parkson is on the court and he's against Brady, then him, DJ, and even Alfie, as much as I've got a lot of love for Alfie as well, Jordan Williams is going to have a field day there. Like he's going to enjoy that matchup. But saying that, you never know who's going to turn up on the night, and they might absolutely shut him down. And depends what Danny Burns been talking to them about how to shut him down.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he is one, he's absolutely huge, and two, he's athletic as fuck, Williams.
Yeah.
He can get to the basket, he can get up and over you like you weren't there. So,
mate, and do you know what? Like the whole of the summer, I know he was away in Belgium with Ryan Richards, who's playing at Surrey at the moment.
Speaking of specimens.
Yeah, absolutely. The original geezer. But he's like, I know they went away to Belgium to like train over the summer.
Yeah.
And I know like Jordan's big thing was working on his shot. And he's been knocking like mid-range twos, a couple of threes down. Like you can't leave him open as a stretch. You can't. You can stretch the floor now, which is another aspect to his game. Where okay, you put him in the block, and 9 times out of 10 he's coming out on top against a smaller opponent. But actually, you put him against someone that's bigger now, and he can just take that shot where you wouldn't have expected him to maybe last season.
Yeah, agreed.
Totally agreed, mate. So
it's going to be an interesting one for sure.
It is, mate. It's going to be a strong, again, and I know we say it quite a lot here, but this is genuinely not the toughest game, as in the literal. I mean the literal sense of it's going to be end to end. There's going to be bodies like all over the show. It's going to be a real strong physical game. So we've got our predictions. We've got everything we need to know. Is there anything you'd like to add before we wrap it up here, bro?
I'm pretty good. Like I just think for me, like I'm really excited about this game, and I just wanted to add in, obviously, from this isn't a championship game. Like the loser gets knocked out of the trophy.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of more added pressure on that as well. Yeah. Obviously, we didn't have the greatest cup run in the world, and neither you guys were arguably should have been in the final.
Yeah, maybe.
Probably a contentious issue, but arguably should have been in the final, or at least should have been given the opportunity to get to the final, in my opinion. But obviously, from now, it's like trophy playoffs. Let's be honest, London are pretty much running away with the league. They're probably going to take top spot, or Newcastle, are the two real teams. But then you say that, and then Leicester. There's those top 3 sides that are real vying for that sort of spot of who's going to take the league. But the trophy is an opportunity for one of us to take silverware, in my opinion, depending on the run and who you're playing against. And to be fair, I can imagine Jamie Edwards. I met him when he came down to Worcester last time. Real nice guy, and I think for him, like imagine him getting silverware on the first season of the takeover and the rebrand. Like massive, that's got to be a huge like. Motivation for the players to be able to back and be like, look, we had the rebrand, we put a lot of money in, we bought in the American guys that have stepped up for you. You brought in some real good British guys, some local guys as well to real like cement that rebrand and get the Manchester crowd back engaged with basketball and people that weren't really naturally engaged. And to prove a point, like this is what we can do. This is why we're here. Like for me, I've obviously watched the BBL real closely over the last couple of seasons, 2 or 3 seasons particularly. I'm mainly focused on Worcester before that, but with everything that like involvement within the club and looking at who we're playing next and what matchups I've got to learn and what fucking names I've got to try and pronounce. Some of them, and I'm just like, I've got no idea. Like, Ali
I've got to say, but what's the worst?
Oh, mate. When I first came in, Panos Mayan Dumbe from Bristol. God. I looked at that and I was just like, fucking no chance. Absolutely no chance. And then obviously they like last season they announced it. And everybody on the supporters page were messaging me, and they were like, "Have fun with Martin Bartnett's name." I was just like, I had to literally get him to voice note me.
I was just going to say, did you do that?
2 weeks before the start of the season, I was like, "Bro, you need to voice note me your name and how to pronounce it, because I've got to practice this so I don't cock it up." And then he was announced captain, and I was like, "I really can't cock this up. Like, this is absolutely on point." But there's some like Ali Hadzic, I think his name is. We haven't played London yet, so I haven't checked it. But I think it's like Ali Hadzic. There was there's a couple of like guys that came in a couple of seasons ago from like Spain and other areas of Europe into other teams, and I was just like, I honestly have to go over to the coach before, and I'm like, "How do you pronounce this?" And sometimes even the coaches are like, oh, we just call him by his first name. I'm like, oh, great.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really appreciate that. Yeah.
Can you tell us if he's got any pet names like, yeah, Big Dick, get over here. Come on.
Mate, the one that I thought I'd nailed it, and it was when Mike Morsell.
Oh wait, can I just interrupt you there and say Bristol Friars? Go on, carry on.
Oh yeah, cheers. Yeah, that's not even complicated. That was just pure nerves on my first game. There was one, Mike Morsell from Newcastle.
Yeah,
played for Newcastle either 2 seasons ago. I know he's at Plymouth now. And he actually came over to me halfway through the game as he was getting subbed in, and he was like, "It's pronounced Morsell." That morsel. I was like, all right, bro, yeah, no problem. And honestly, I just sat in my seat like, well, I feel a dick. What I was going to say is, well, do you know what's really funny? Like, I've never kind of seen it from this perspective and like seen it and heard it. Like the amount of trash talk.
Yeah, it's
unreal.
tough, isn't it?
Oh,
yeah.
Because we're now sat courtside, like right on one of the ends of the court where the hoop is.
Yeah.
And you've got no crowd, and there's no real background noise because obviously we don't play music all the way through the game. We just play it on clips.
Yeah.
The amount of shit that gets spoken, I'm just like, whoa.
I think that's why there've been so many teas, isn't there? Like, I mean, it's actually funny you should mention that. Me and Jake was discussing this today, and we thought we even designed like the perfect response to any American trash talking to us. Like literally, it's something they won't know, but it's kind of on the lines. Just turn around, your mum, mate. Your mum. And it's just as simple as that. Leave it at that.
It'll just be silence.
See you later.
Mate, did you see the clip of Eric Lockett and Darius Defoe?
Yes.
Oh no, I've not seen that. No.
Yeah,
mate. Jordan, I think Lockett Del Pesh goes up against Defoe.
Yeah.
It's not even Lockett that does it.
Yeah.
Lockett just turns around and goes, "You're a fucking baby.
Yeah.
You're a fucking baby." And literally, Darius walks over.
It's the way he just does it so polite.
Real polite with the ball in his hand, and he just walks over and he's like, "Excuse me, what did you say?" and literally, Lockett goes, "You're a fucking baby," and like ducks his head. And then this is again breath bashing, not going back to this, but
he gave them both a T. Yeah.
Oh no.
And he gave Lockett, "You're a fucking baby." Yeah, that's a T. And it's on D's reels.
Yeah.
It's on that.
I'm
gonna have a look at it afterwards.
I'm gonna check that out.
Yeah. And literally all Darius does is he grabs the board, he goes over to him, he's like, "Excuse me, what did you say?" And he gives him a technical. And I'm like, "For what?"
But like it wasn't in an aggressive manner. He just politely he actually tried to walk around one of the Bristol players, and the Bristol player stood his ground, and he like kind of like nudged shoulders with him. But Defoe there was no malice. He was just walked around him and was like, "What did you say? Sorry." And he was like exactly. It's just the way he goes.
Yeah, he's like,
"You're a fucking baby."
Jake knows what I'm going to say now. Jake knows what I'm going to say now. But Mr. Lockett provided us with the greatest bit of trash talking we've ever come across. Now, on our first podcast, we mentioned it. You might have heard it, and it was basically, obviously, the Bristol game against us was a really close game, close fought, and it was the game we didn't hit a 3, did we, Jake? In the game, if I remember rightly, and it was such a close game, and you just knew it was going to be one of them games. It could go either way. And you could see Hexham and Lockett was going at it all game, and literally none of us thought it. We just thought, it was done there. That's it. On the way home, they must have been on the way home. About 2 hours later, I was looking on Instagram, just sort of like, I've gone on Lyle Hexham's Instagram, and it's just like, for anyone asking me, I called Lockett a burger. I was just like, what?
He was like, just to clear it up, everyone, he's a burger.
Yeah, and it's just like, what?
But do you know what? Like Eric Lockett, when he played at us, like he talks, like he loves to talk.
Yeah.
He even started talking to me. I was just like, I think he scored a basket, turned around and just looked at me and just went shh like that, and I was like, it's my job.
I'm surprised every time he went up to take a shot, then it wasn't bang, bang.
right.
I was literally sat there like, what are you like? What do you want me to do? Just stop talking on the microphone? Like this makes no sense whatsoever. But he talks trash. And to be fair to him, actually after the game, he had a bit of a laugh and a joke, and he was like, yeah, I just get really into it and I get really aggressive, and like I'm here to win. Like I don't want to, like I don't care what I have to do to win. I'll get under someone's skin. And do you know what? I gotta respect it.
Oh, yeah. Was your response? Yeah. Cheers, mate. Your mum. See you in a bit.
Mate, do you know the scary thing is, like, if he wasn't like, he must be 6'6", 6'7", and he looks like he can run. And I've seen him on the court, like he's quick. So I probably would have said it if it had been, I don't know, like someone a bit heavier built. But I was like, he's catching me if I say anything, so I'm just going to leave it. Like,
yeah, but you can actually mic drop, though. You can actually mic drop. That's the thing. You can just go.
Could you imagine?
Boof.
Could you imagine if I did that over the mic? My P45 would seeing anything
on the.
It would be class. It was literally just like and Lockett misses a free throw. Your mum.
See you later.
On the flip side of that, when I think it was a game at George Canal. I think Plymouth came up to us, and Will Neighbour, his first three, and I sit pretty much behind the Giants bench, and it's a tight venue up there anyway. So obviously the players heard everything. The court can hear me, and Will Neighbour put up a three, but just as he caught it for the catch and shoot, I was like, he's not going to hit one all game, and he missed, and didn't do anything of it. He came up again, spotted up on the corner. I was like, leave him, he ain't going to hit it. He missed again. He turned round and made eye contact. I was like, he knows I'm here. That's good. He then went on to hit 3 in a row, and every single one he made eye contact and went, I was that, and I was like, fair. I was like, fair, not a problem.
Well done, mate. You're a basketball and you've just scored.
But then now I look back on it, I feel really bad because I've never heard him trash talk. I've never heard him go off on one. He visually, he looks like a nice, lovely guy. And you're gonna make yourself like a writer. I bet he gives to charity and all sorts though. I know, yeah.
Helping the homeless.
I'm not gonna lie. Like as soon as they cross that whitewash and they're on the opposite side of the fucking court, I hate all of them. Fuck them. Yeah. They can take as much stick as they want after the game. Not a problem at all.
Yeah.
Just great guys. But as soon as they step on that court, fuck them. They're getting as much shit as they can. And to be honest, the Worcester fans are bad. The Worcester fans are bad for it. As soon as someone gets a fifth foul, the whole arena stands up and they're like, cheerio, cheerio. And you're like, fucking hell. And you can see the players just like, oh yeah, great. This is what we want. And it's just it is part of the game, and do you know what? I miss that so much. I miss that trash talk from the fans.
I'm just imagining a load of blokes in the crowd, like Zimmer frames. He said they're all old, mate. Cheerio.
Mate, honestly, some of the language that comes out, and do you know what? Do you know who's the worst? And they're gonna kill me if this goes into the podcast, but I don't really give a shit. It's the older women.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Mate, they are there for 3 reasons. They love basketball. They love to shout shit and trash talk, and they perv.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They are there for a perv.
Look at him, he's tall. Oh.
Yeah.
He's a big
got
boy.
some nice shorts on. And do you know who played up to it the most? Lester Prosper. When he was here 2 seasons ago.
Prosper,
6 foot 10.
Yeah.
The one that used to roll his shorts at worse than Cassell.
Yeah.
They were so high. And
God, I forgot about him. He was an animal down low. Jeez.
Yeah, he didn't play any defense though. Bless him.
Say that now he's back over in the States. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mate, do you know what? The mad thing is, I speak to him all the time. We're still good friends on Instagram, and I told him, and he was like, "Yeah, but I didn't come to play defense." And I was like, "Yeah, that's because we lost every game. If you'd have played defense, we might have been all right."
Oh man! So this has been genuinely one of the best podcasts we've made.
I'm not ever joking. I'm hurting here. I swear I'm alive. I'm actually hurting here.
So, just a little wrap.
Have we got you guys again this year, or is this the last one?
It's got to be a return home game, isn't there? Because the other one was in the league.
There must be, mustn't there?
Well, we played each other 3 times, don't we? In the championship.
There you go, then.
Mate. Oh, okay. There we go. 24th of March.
Oh, belting.
Is you're at home?
Yeah.
We'll have to do this again on that one.
100%.
You've already got your name down, mate. You've already got your name down.
This has been class. This has been absolutely class, mate.
100%. Yeah, I think that's the next one we've got against you guys.
Yeah, no, we just proper.
We got you on the 19th.
Of Feb?
Of what?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Oh, fucking hell. That's a week after. That's a Friday after, isn't it? The Friday after the Sky game.
Yeah, we're at home to you on the 19th.
Oh, fucking hell.
Oh, there we go then.
And then the 24th of March. So we've still got 3 games. Yeah. We've still got 2 more games in the.
Yeah. That's a solid hour. That's a solid 5 hours of podcast sorted.
Yeah. Pencil it in.
Hopefully I won't have to spot the old hat then, because I'll have had a fucking trim after lockdown.
don't get me started.
Yeah, but mate, there's not a lot you can do with yours. Let's be honest.
Little fucker. But yeah, thank you so much.
There's a blessing in all of this, though. There's a blessing in all of this. At least you're not ginger.
True. And with that, I'm going to leave it there, Ginge. Thank you so much for coming on and making us, having a great time on this podcast. It's been really, really amazing. Thank you very much for that, man.
No worries at all, and hopefully I'll catch you guys later on in the season. We'll have to catch up again so that we've got a couple more games coming in. So I'll definitely come back and hopefully I'll be gloating about the fact that we beat you in the trophy, or I'll be drowning my sorrows with a number of beers and trying to hide my face from the podcast when you guys are gloating.
Just pulling the hat down.
With a 40, yeah, mate, Brady with a 40-point game or something, and I'll just be like, oh yeah, whatever. Like, don't even talk about that.
I'm not coming on.
I would laugh my head off. I would laugh my head off if you're giving Brady some grief and he just turns around and goes, "Yeah, your mum, what?"
Can you imagine?
No.
That would be class.
Oh no, because he listens. He does listen. So,
this has been.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, man. This has been your pre-game show with the Worcester Wolves DJ himself and MC, Mr. Ginge. Thank you so much, man. And good luck in the trophy on Wednesday. And I hope that it's a very close game. That's all I'm going to say.
It's a very dignified response. Yeah, cheers. Cheers for having me on, fellas, and I'll catch up with you guys soon.
Not a problem, man. Thank you very much, guys, and cheers you guys for listening. Cheers. Thank you.